Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday morning's live stroll with myself and Azra. First thing to tell you is, it is a very subtropical 10 degrees this morning. So after the last few mornings been absolutely freezing, sorry about that, my alarm just went off. This is positively tropical, as I say. So what's everyone up to today? Normal day, work day, leisure day? Are you on holiday? Are you going on holiday? And where are you watching from? What time is it there? Normal admin questions to get out of the way. So the last few days have been pretty good for, just bear with guys, I'll carry on that in a minute, just to get the car going past. Carry on. Yeah, so the last few days have been pretty good for views, so we will carry on our little experiment this week, see exactly where we are with views, and as long as people still want it and it's still sort of positive, we'll keep doing these. As I say, I'm out anyway, so it doesn't bother me in the slightest. I enjoy doing what I do. I just don't want to sort of do it if people aren't interested, don't want to watch, all that sort of stuff. So we'll monitor it and then play it by ear and then go from there. So yesterday, as I said, was Julie and my wedding anniversary, 19 years yesterday. So it was a normal sort of working day yesterday. Finished a bit early, so I could get home, just get changed quickly, and then went out for a nice pub meal last night. The meal was lovely, the service was terrible, and it's a shame, because of it being a sort of a special occasion, I found myself not really wanting to grumble, and it was probably one of those that probably should have, but even more so. But as I say, the food was really good, which I think helps. If the food was terrible and the service was terrible, then I think there would have been more of a problem. And it was awful, absolutely awful. Such a shame that it had to happen. But yeah, it is what it is. And then they put the dessert menus around and then they disappeared again for another 20 minutes. And it's just like, you can't do that. Anyway, so we just said, no, we'll just pay the bill and go home. We just had enough by that point. And I am probably one of the most tolerant people when we go out, because I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of a verbal volleying from a customer. If it's warranted, that's completely different. But a lot of times people will moan for moaning's sake, unfortunately. But I just couldn't be bothered. I even said, I cannot be bothered. I haven't got the energy to, have a moan today. I really haven't. But anyway, meal was nice. Got home, and then had the pain of watching a very, very, very lacklustre performance by Liverpool last night. And something needs to change there, I think, with the way the performances are going. I'm not quite sure how you put your finger on it at the minute as a fan, because essentially you've got the same sort of core in the team. But it just doesn't seem like it's quite clicking at the minute. So let's hope. Got another match on Saturday at Stamford Bridge, which obviously is never an easy place to go. But we'll see what happens. I sort of thought Crystal Palace, a bit of a Liverpool bogey team, losing on Saturday. But then the way they played last night, they just didn't seem to have any real, inventiveness, and it was just so frustrating to watch. And they shouldn't have had a penalty near the end either, by the way. It wasn't a penalty. Looking at it, you know, every fan can jump up and say, oh, it's a penalty. But when you look at it on the VAR, which we all moan about to and from, it wasn't a penalty. So, yeah, so that's a shame. Today is just a normal Wednesday. Football. James has got football training tonight. Oh, James had a football match with the school yesterday. And they won 1-0, which was good. I think it's against one of the private schools from Cambridge. So that was pretty good. Yeah, and as I say, today is just a normal day. Nothing really to write about today. We will see what happens. Okay, so we're coming up to the crossroads where we've been many times before, where we will go straight on, but if you were to do a left, it would take you towards Flint Cross, and then left to Cambridge, right to Royston. Then if we did a right here, it takes you back into the village. Come on, Azra. Good girl. So yeah, right into the village. If we were to do a right here, we're going to go straight on. Come on, Azra. Good girl. As I said at the very beginning, completely different temperature this morning. They say very tropical 10 degrees. I've still got my hat on because it is an extra light, although it's not on at the minute because I only really need it in the wooded area, really. Good girl. Come on, sniff, sniff, sniff. Let's go. Morning to Henry. How you doing? Hi to Albury. Yeah, good to hear. All good, Henry. Where's everyone watching from this morning? Thank you for the like. We've had a really, really positive sort of uptake on the subscribers again over the last week, so that's very, very positive. Bit of a mixture of the lives and the shorts. A few vlogs sort of popped in there as well, sort of helping with the viewing numbers and subscribers, so that's good. If anyone's interested, I did a little vlog on my DJI collection, which is growing nicely for all my needs. Got the Nano, the Pocket 3, the Action 4, and I've got the Mic 2s, and also got a couple of drones. And also I've got the Mobile 6, which I did start using to do these, but unfortunately with her it just becomes too much. Thank you for that, Aubrey, for subscribing. I will try and speak up, but bear in mind it's quite early in the morning here. Right, just bear with me, guys. I've just got to sort Azra's mess out. 1 second. Right, wait, sit. Right, that's that little job done. Sorry about that, guys. I am still here. We are still alive. Yeah, as I say, I will try and speak up, but as I say, it is... Azra, come on. Azra, come on. It is quite early in the morning here, as I was saying earlier on, so just bear that in mind. It is 5:10 a.m. here in the UK, but I will certainly do my best. Right, we'll just get rid of her mess and little bin here, and then we will carry on. There we go, she's back. Right, yeah, so where is everyone watching from this morning? And what time is it there? I'm interested to know. As I said, we're currently in the UK, 5:11 a.m. As I say, it's fairly tropical this morning in comparison to the last few mornings, so it's been sort of below 5 degrees. It's just extraordinary how this weather, flip-flops around at the minute. Just when you think, you're going to be moving into the autumn/winter time, and then Henry, I don't recognise that that name. Where is that near to? What time is it there? Thank you for the likes. I didn't see another one come in, so I do appreciate that. So we're now sort of making our turn towards the high street. If you've been with me before, you will know this route. If you wonder why I was a bit preoccupied a few moments ago, guys, I didn't see a person literally come out of the graveyard with a dog. Azra saw it, but obviously I was a bit preoccupied by doing the live, but it's appeared from nowhere. And if you were with me for the live stroll on Sunday morning in Cambridge, you know what Azra's like when she sees another dog at point blank range. Very excitable. Not aggressively so, just very excitable, and it would be a nightmare to get her back onto the lead should she come off the lead. Right. So we are now hitting the high street. Very peculiar place that this car is parked, with its brake light on. Well, it's actually called a park light, but no one normally parks on this side of the road ever. To keep it sort of moving, he always parks on sort of my side. So I'm not quite sure what that's all about, really. Quite clear what people do. Anyway, so come on, Azra. Come on, Azra. Good girl. So we were told that the pub that's been renovated is opening next week. I didn't think it looked anywhere near being ready to be opened when I looked through the window a couple of times in the week. But clearly it's more ready than we're giving it credit for. Go on, Azra. Good girl. So we might go there next week. I think Julie said it's Thursday it opens. Thursday or Friday, I can't remember. We'll go and have a gander though, have a look what's what. Go on, Azra. And the beauty of it being on this side when there's cars is I can sort of just slow down and let them go by. Because if you've been with me before, you will know what she's like with cars. Bit of a pain, but then that's because of her background. Again, if you are new, she's a rescue dog from North Macedonia. She was found in a cardboard box at the side of a very busy dual carriageway motorway, whatever you want to call it. Petrified, obviously, so she's never quite got over that. I mean, we've had her now 4 years this month. I should have said it, by the way. Pinch punch, first day of the month, no returns. But yeah, she has not lost that fear of cars or anything big going by. So you can't really see in there too much at the minute, but maybe there is. I mean, I think it looks like a pool table there. I can see that, I think. And that all used to be the restaurant, so they've moved the restaurant around the other side. What's going on? What's still going on? Yeah, still lots and lots. You can see a bit more of what's going on in there now. Well, we'll see if it's ready for next week, like they suggested. They've been putting a lot of flyers out and feelers out on the local Facebook sites. We'll wait and see, won't we? We'll go and give it a look whenever it's open. If not, sort of when it opens, which will possibly be quite busy. You just don't know the places, do you, really? If not on opening night, maybe the weekend. Just depends on what's occurring. Excuse me. Okay, so we will be arriving in the sort of village centre in a few moments. Now, yesterday, as we were talking, it was the anniversary special live stroll yesterday. And I'll tell you something else in a minute, guys, that came to my attention. Go on, Azra. Yeah, I'll tell you a few landmarks in a minute. What came through yesterday on YouTube was it was the anniversary yesterday as well of my first video I did on YouTube a year ago. So that was quite emotional. Not emotional. That sounds a bit OTT. That was quite a nice sort of thing to see how the channel's grown in the last year. For me, you know, and what I can do with the channel, you know, I think it's grown nicely. Subscribers are steadily going up. You know, I'm not one of these people that can be doing this stuff every day, all the time, sort of during the day, which is probably when you're going to get more hits. Sort of these live strolls in the morning, I do it because that's the most convenient time for me to do it. But obviously I do work, you know, hard with the shorts and the vlogs as well when I can. But yeah, so it's positive. A year on, we're doing all right with subscriptions. So, and we've got in 23 days now, Euros need to look forward to, which I will be vlogging, and I will probably be taking the Nano and the Pocket 3. I won't take the Action 4. I don't need the Action 4. I don't intend on getting wet, hopefully. So to that end, I won't be taking that one, because the problem is, whatever I take, I've more or less got to have with me when I'm in the parks. Now the Nano, I could just put on the magnetic necklace thing. That will just be on your chest essentially, but you still got to have the little docking station for it. And likewise, Pocket 3, you know, you've got a room for as well and stuff like that. So, and it's more for when you're on the rides, like when you're walking around, you know, you've got, you know, your pockets, as it were. Because when you go on the ride, you have to sort of find homes for some of this stuff. So, yeah, we shall see. I haven't really pointed anything out, but very quickly, you've got the co-op. Come here, co-op here, and then you've got the chemist there, a couple of hairdressers back there. Come on, Azra, let's go. Always happens in this bit of the village where you want just a bit of peace and quiet to tell you about stuff, and then all of a sudden cars appear from nowhere. It's horrendous. Come on, Azra. War memorial there on the left hand side. Don't know what's going to be happening with that. It looks to me like it's going to be some sort of another hair place. Strands, don't know, might be wrong. Wait and see. The old Melbourne sign. Azra, come on. She was out in the garden this morning, guys, when I came down for ages. In fact, so much so I had to go out and call her. God knows what she was doing. And there's nothing that she can really eat out in the garden, other than maybe a few unripe tomatoes on the plants. But she was out there for ages. Don't know what she was doing. Ralph sometimes does this. He goes out there and he's out there for ages. But I think he just gets a bit forgetful about where he is sometimes. She's usually out there, does her stuff, comes straight back in again because she wants to go out. Anyway, so another local grocery shop. We will head up now towards the wooded area. Morning.
Morning.
Come on, come on. Good girl, come on. A few more people about this morning than I'm used to. Quite extraordinary. Where are people going? I don't think they were the sort of people that were going to work. I'm not waiting for a bus at that time of the morning, although they might be waiting for someone to come pick them up, perhaps. Not necessarily the bus. But it's just somewhere to sit whilst they wait, perhaps. Anyway. And then finally on the left-hand side here, you got the hub. Now here is sort of like the town hall, village hall we'll call it. Got a little cafe in there, little restaurant, little library, some medical facilities. And just generally a decent place to sort of come and have a seat, have a meet up, whatever you want to do. I've never eaten in there. Spoken about it, but never eaten in there. Because it's so close to home, why would you eat in there? Why would you eat in there, sorry? We've had meetings in there before for the football club. Why would you eat in there? Yeah, that's the thing. It's a shame, really. Come on, Azra. Okay, so that is the sort of last little bit of the stuff in the village to show you. So you can see the little village we have here is not massive. On the right here, this white building used to be a pub. It used to be called the Old Star. It used to do amazing Sunday roasts. And then it turned into Herbie's, which was an American diner, which again was very nice. The Old Star we used to come to as a family because we haven't obviously always lived in Melbourne. And we used to come here for Sunday lunches. And it was lovely. Obviously it's now recently been sold. It's now a house. Took ages to sell because it was overpriced. What it went for in the end, don't know. Again, gets yourself excited because the car goes by. So yeah, in a sec we're going to do a left into the mall, which is where we used to come out of. If you've been with me before, you will know exactly where we are. And I can't wait got another probably 5 months to wait for when we get the light again, and we can start doing the country walks again. I miss them a lot during the week. I really do. Anyway, that will be March/April before we can start doing the live strolls there in the weeks. I mean, even the weekends are now beginning to be affected, only because, unfortunately, my commitments on a Saturday morning especially, with the live strolls. So we just sort of make the best of the bad situation, really. Come on, Azra. So we're going to do a left here and then a right. And that will take us up to the wooded area where I then need to put the hat light on to give ourselves a little bit more light. Come on, Azra. Good girl. So we were coming from up there, guys, when we were doing the country walks. Some of you may remember. If you are new to the channel, do make sure you are liking and subscribing. It does really mean a lot to the channel. As I said earlier, we've had a very, very positive few months, certainly since the cruise. That really has lifted the channel off, and it seems to be sort of steadily going from strength to strength, and that's all I care about, as long as it's a steady progression. You know, I'm not one of these people that wants 20, 30 subscribers a day, because it's not going to happen. I just can't do enough content for that. Leave it, Azra. But as long as we continue to get sort of a steady flow, I'll be happy with that. Right, hat light on. The reason I don't have it on all the time, guys, is because it reflects off the screen, and I can't always see a screen and you sort of comments that are coming in, and obviously what we're looking at. I've now put it on just to assist with the light, and you can now see the shadow it's causing for the stroll as well. So I'm having to sort of aim the camera a little bit strangely as well to avoid the shadow too much as well. So I apologise for that, guys. I'd rather you be able to see where we're going and not worry about the shadow, to be honest with you. So we've been going almost half an hour now. Almost half an hour. We're approaching the science park. This is the science park, all the other side of the fence here. So we will be coming out in there in about 2 minutes, and then we'll walk through there and then make our way back towards home. And what have we done so far? So that's 1.33 miles. That's pretty rubbish, to be fair. But by the time we get home, it will be nearer 2 miles, which is sort of why I extend the strolls to come through here, to help with the distance, because obviously not doing the country walk now, I've lost the distance. Come on, Azra. Good girl. As you can see, completely now using her landing light and the hat cam, because it is just dark through here now. Okay, we have got lights the other side of the hedge here, but it doesn't really help in here. Come on, Azra. I was looking at, I follow quite a few vloggers that go to America, because obviously Julie and I are going there next year, and one of the questions was, are the vlogs too long? And this first vlog, this travel day, was I think about 3 hours, just under 3 hours, something like that. And I thought to myself, who in their right mind has 3 hours to watch a vlog? Now I know you can say, well, split it up. And yeah, you can, but the problem is, the vlogs come out reasonably quickly, so you don't get to finish the first one before the next one comes out. You know, with these vlogs, I think half an hour to an hour is probably about right, unless it is a special holiday. Now, I'm going to say here and now, I think when we go to Orlando next year, some of my vlogs will be longer than an hour. Now, I get that is too long for some people, I get it. But YouTube is also for sort of a time capsule memories as well, I think. So it's nice for people to look back on, because once it's sort of uploaded on YouTube, unless there's sort of some special memories, you just get rid of it, because it's always going to be there. Although I have now started, if there's any important videos I do, saving them onto a separate hard drive, just so I've always got the backup. But I'm sure a lot of people that do YouTube don't do that. And in fact, I've heard people saying, sort of vloggers saying, you know, this is a time capsule for us and it's there for all time. And you'd like to think YouTube will be there for all time, but you never say never in this life, do you? But I think 3 hours is way over the top. You know, I'm not saying they've got a lot of subscribers, so clearly they know exactly what they're doing. And I would never belittle what they do, because I think they do a very, very good job, and that's why they've got many, many, many subscribers. But I think 3 hours is too much. 2 hours for what they do, yeah, all right. 3 hours is too much. And there was actually a vote as well on their Facebook site as well, which I responded to saying, you know, a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, sorry, a little bit longer, God, a little bit shorter. Because I enjoy watching them, you know, sometimes they do annoy me, but for the most part I do enjoy watching the vlogs. They're very informative, but you can compact it, is my point. It doesn't need to be 3 hours. Anywho, it's my little moan of the morning. So we're now making our way on the homeward stretch. I walked through the whole science park, didn't point anything out, not that there's really an awful lot to point out in there anyway, really. There were some ducks quacking away at us, as you might have heard over me moaning about how long vlogs are. And even the Euro Disney ones, because these are special ones, these are not just, I mean, these people that are doing these vlogs, by the way, are in America 3-4 times a year. So a lot of the stuff they do, you've seen before. And yes, they try and change it up, and of course they do. And I know people probably saying, you don't have to watch it, and you're right. But some of it is actually quite good, and then what I'm trying to say is I enjoy watching them, but you can compact it. It's just too long. I mean, if you say, do many people have a spare hour each night? Some people might. I don't. So if you're saying 3 hour vlog could take you 3-4 days to watch, just one, crazy, in my opinion. Right, guys, I'm going to stop having a moan now. Thank you very much for watching. We're going to come off. Have a great day, and we will reconvene tomorrow.